And good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and as you can tell, yes, I am finally back. I was actually out of town in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Yep, I was there from Monday, and I just got back today, basically this morning, and I took a really huge nap because I needed it most because who in the world can actually successfully fall asleep in a freaking airplane when the engine's going like, and it's even louder than that? Man, ironically, I actually fell asleep, sort of, while watching Harry Potter, and it was like the Deathly Hallows. No, not the Deathly Hallows. Yeah, it was Deathly Hallows and the Half Blood Prince. I guess I never really enjoyed those movies, so I guess once I put my ear headsets on and the movie, I guess I instantly fell asleep. But anyway, I'm glad to finally be back to my normal life. Actually, no, I do miss my vacation life. I really did enjoy Brazil. It was really, really nice. And I must say, go check it out, including Sao Paulo, Brazil. Despite the controversy that the NFL had about it when NFL players were scared of hanging around in Sao Paulo, Brazil, they were asked to stay in their hotels. But instead, I mean, here's my thing. Just keep looking at right. Always don't make eye contact with anyone like you normally would anyway in the United States. Keep your phones with you. Lock up everything. Okay, you're good. That's the advice. But right now, we are here to watch the Mariners game, the game between the Mariners and the Texas Rangers. And this is going to be a tough one because today on the mound, it's going to be George Kirby, our boy George Kirby, my boy George Kirby, 3.62 ERA against Jacob deGrom, who has given up 4 hits and 4 strikeouts in his one start. deGrom is not going to be an easy task. I mean, that's what it probably would be understatement to say that would be an understatement on how difficult the game is going to be. And man, I gotta double check my Wi-Fi because I don't think my game says I can't even stream the game right now, which would be real devastating if I can't, because I need to cover this game. But until then, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification. I'm just hoping that my internet is just assuming that I'm in Brazil still, because obviously I can't use the Xfinity app. Okay, this is going to be a while. Oh, this is why I don't like Xfinity and the Root Sports thing. I really hope Root Sports, I hate to say it, I hope Root Sports completely burns to the ground. I really hope it does. Yeah, it's strange because I am in my Wi-Fi, so it should be able to work. Maybe I have to go to my ExpressVPN because I really got to cover this game. Like, because it assumes I'm in Brazil, I guess. So let's fix this and see if it works this time, because I got a game to cover because I don't want to let down the fans. There we go. I got the game on. Had a little of a false alarm because I turned on my ExpressVPN and the ExpressVPN still thought I was in Brazil. And by the way, I'll be joined by my friend Epic Sea Films. He will be joining the show today, as he did go to a Mariners-Rangers game last week. But yeah, this game is going to be absolutely tough. And I must say, when I was out of the trip, I was like checking the scores. I tuned into the game once in a while. But I noticed that Julio Rodriguez, he stepped out of the base path for whatever reason because he thought he was going to get hit in the face by Randy Arozarena's bat on a strikeout when it wasn't even close to him. Went way out of the base path. Probably didn't even pay attention that it was a foul ball. And then he got tagged, so the Mariners basically struck out, threw a bat into a double play, and the Mariners lost that game. Good job, Julio. And Julio, this is for you, buddy. This is for you. I got to do this for you. Just for you. Yep. Slow clap as it deserves. And the Mariners are playing at the Texas Rangers. They are in the ballpark in Arlington, or shall I say Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Funny thing was I was actually in Dallas on the way to Brazil, and I was actually in Houston on the way back to Seattle, which is around I went in the same order as the Mariners are going to be playing the team. So that was kind of interesting. Dallas was kind of short-lived though, because man, all I had time was to basically run to the next plane. And then Houston, I had to go through security because I'm coming back as a U.S. citizen from Brazil. So I went through. Look at those ugly Connect jerseys. I hope the Mariners are wearing their share of their Connect jerseys as well. But Jacob deGrom has been a fantastic baseball player in his career. But hopefully the Mariners can put a stop to that. Hopefully it won't matter to them. But deGrom's got a slider, four-seam fastball, changeup, curveball. So let's see if this works out for Jacob or for the Mariners. Now we're looking at the lineup for the Texas Rangers. We've got Marcus Semien, Smith, Langford, said Wangford, Garcia, Dolis Garcia, Nathaniel Lowe. And now we're at the first pitch. And now it is brought to you by SeatGeek. And now here's the pitch and a swing and a miss. And we are underway here at Globe Life Stadium. Robles is batting .309 with 4 home runs and 22 RBIs. He's actually been one of the contributors for the Mariners. And the pitch. And a foul ball. That's going to be strike 2. Lineup for the Mariners. We've got Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, Luke Raley, Justin Turner, Jorge Polanco, J.P. Crawford, and Josh Rojas. And now we're looking at the 0-2. And now here is the pitch. And that was right down the middle, strike 3 called, and now we've got one out. And it's already not looking so good for the Mariners right now, as they've just suffered a strikeout. I mean, this sounds like it could be an ugly series. I mean, if you think the Texas Rangers are going to help the Mariners to win this series, you're absolutely delusional. And now here is Julio Rodriguez up to the plate, and that is right down the middle for a strike. And we got Epic C Films. How are you doing, buddy?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
Well, you know, hoping the Mariners can come away with a victory, even though you're going to have... And there he goes. The pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. He'll be back in just a few moments. Must be some kind of glitch going on. And now he's back, and you always seem to have those kind of problems, do you?
Yes.
And now we're looking at the 1-1 for Julio Rodriguez in the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. I mean, these are pitches that you should be hitting at. And obviously, you're just going to be hearing a bunch of gibberish because you don't really watch Mariners baseball, with the exception of that Rangers game last week that you went when we thought the game was over, and the Mariners somehow pulled out of their butts and won the game. As we are looking for a 1-2 on Julio Rodriguez and the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that is going to get right through for a base hit. And Julio Rodriguez gets on first base with a 1-out single off of a Jacob deGrom 99-mile-an-hour fastball. So, Epic C Films, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And Epic C Films, did I ever show you did I show you the surprise video with the self-help Bob Mario Smith video?
Yes.
Okay. You did, so I don't have to show it again. And now here is Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And that is inside for a ball for Cal Raleigh. And that is 1 ball and no strikes. Cal Raleigh batting .213 with 30 home runs and 93 RBIs. Last game the Mariners played, they beat the New York Yankees 3-2. And the throwback to first, not in time, as Julio's trying to get back on base. And if we remember, Julio Rodriguez had that boneheaded base running moment when he stepped out of the base path completely, which got him out, which caused double play, and the Mariners lost the game against the Yankees. Had the Mariners won that game, they'd be just a game back from the wild card. Now the 1-0. And that is low for a ball, 2-0. And the stakes are really high for the Mariners today, as we've got Boston and Minnesota playing today. Need Boston to win that game. Right now, they have runners on first and second with 1 out. Cal Raleigh working on a 2-0. Good count on him so far. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Good eye on Cal Raleigh. That's going to be a 3-0. Jacob deGrom working on 10 pitches so far. 3-0 count for Cal Raleigh. I wonder if he is going to swing at this one, because I think deGrom's going to probably throw one down the middle. Now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball, fouled. Had the right idea, and I knew he was going to pitch that strike right down the middle. It was a little bit up on the inside, so that was actually a good pitch on Jacob deGrom, because that forced him to push it to, well, the foul side of the ball, of the territory. And now he's working on a 3-1 count. And now the pitch. And that is ball 4. Take your base, as Cal Raleigh will get on base with a walk. Now you got runners on first and second for Randy Arozarena, which I don't really like. I really think Cal Raleigh should be the cleanup hitter. Randy Arozarena should be the 3 guy, because Arozarena with runners in scoring position, he is not good. 12 pitches for deGrom so far. Time is being given for Randy Arozarena, as if he already asks for way too much time. He's batting .218 with 20 home runs and 57 RBIs. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. Well, actually, no, it's going to be a foul ball. Not really doing much. Boston and Minnesota as runners on second and third with 2 outs. Good news is, though, for the Mariners for the present time, the Detroit Tigers are getting blown out by the Baltimore Orioles. So it looks like safe to say the Mariners might actually win. Mariners might actually pick up game on that. If they win, they could be at least 1 game back from the wild card. As we got Jacob deGrom stepping time away. Randy Arozarena has 113 hits this season, 30 doubles. And we're looking for the 0-1, the pitch. Low for a ball. That is going to be a 1-1 count. Arozarena is a 182 batter with runners in scoring position, which is why I don't like him as a cleanup hitter. I don't think he should be a cleanup hitter in this situation. As we are looking at the 1-1. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that was like literally practically right down the middle. That was a meat ball pitch for Randy Arozarena, and we're looking at the 1-2 so far. Mariners do outplay against the Rangers, but it may not matter today because it's a different ball game. And we're looking at the 1-2 for Arozarena, the pitch. And now here's a ground ball and fouled. Rangers have been banged up most of the season, but they've been fighting most of the season despite what they've been playing with. Injuries to Corey Seager, injuries to Evan Carter and Josh Young. They've been banged up this season, but you assume that they'll be back next season to make a run at it. As we're looking at a 1-2, which is why the Mariners have got to make the playoffs this season. And now the 1-2 pitch, and strike 3 called, and Arozarena is going to go down in strikes. And that's what frustrates me about Randy Arozarena. He finds ways to strike out. And all I can say about Randy Arozarena, he is one of the best players in baseball when he wants to be. Wild card situation. Mariners are 2 games back. They are still very much in this fight. But they are severely running out of time. And the pitch to Luke Raley, and that's inside for a ball. And at this point, I would have just taken it, but that would have hit his knees. So that probably would have taken him out for the whole season, because you don't want to get hit in the knees by one of those. As we're looking at the 1-0 so far on Luke Raley. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike. We're looking at the 1-1 from Jacob deGrom. And now here is the 1-1 pitch to Rayleigh. And now here is the throw to second, and not in time as Julio had to go back as he had quite a lead. It was a good heads-up play by Jonah Heim. And good news for the Mariners so far. The Boston Red Sox got out of their jam, so now they have the bat, and now they have a chance to make something happen. This is going to be against Tyler, with Tyler O'Neill up to the bat. You expect big things from him, from the former Mariner prospect. As we're looking at the 2-1 from Luke Rayleigh. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. He probably didn't have to swing at that one, and that is going to be a 2-2. Mariners continue to show their inability to even hit one in the strike zone. And now we're looking at the 2-2 so far for Luke Rayleigh. He's got a big chance ahead of him to score in some runs. As we are looking at the 2-2 in the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and that is going to do it for this inning. Third baseman's there. And he makes the catch, and disappointingly, the Mariners do not get any runs despite having runners on first and second. And now we go to the bottom of the first with absolutely no score. So Epic C Films, take me back to your experience on that Mariners comeback victory when you were there.
Okay. I didn't expect much of the Mariners. I'm not a baseball fan, so you can assume I don't expect much of the Mariners. I always want the Mariners choke. And so what I was expecting from the Mariners was another choke. I've heard stories of them coming back, but like very rarely. So it was, I think, like the 7th inning, they started doing something. I think it was the 7th inning, and then I think they got 2 runs, and then all of a sudden, Julio had a big hit in the 8th or something like that. That kind of like set him up, where all they had to do was have good pitching in the 9th to win the game. It was one of the more exciting baseball games I've been to. I don't go to many baseball games, but it's like one of the best ones I've been to in years, because to me, baseball is very slow and boring. Before I looked at that stat, I told my friend who I was sitting with at the game, I said, I looked it up and I said, what's the average score of a baseball game, total score of a baseball game? They said it was 9 points. That game ended with like 9 points. And they said over the last few years, baseball scoring has gone up. I like games that have scoring. A game that's basically 1-0 is not exciting to me.
What about a hockey game?
Hockey is more exciting because there's more movement.
And soccer?
More movement.
You just don't like baseball.
I didn't grow up in a family that was really into baseball. I think golf is more exciting because if you watch a golf broadcast, they're always switching between shots. In baseball, you're waiting for one player to see if they will hit or not hit the ball. Well, sometimes they're just standing there doing nothing. And pop flies are not that exciting to watch.
As we are back from the break, and this is going to be for Marcus Semien, who's up to the plate. One of the big Mariner killers. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. George Kirby is now on the mound. One of the best starters on the Mariners rotation, but has been very inconsistent in the second half of the season so far. Hopefully he can pick it up this time. The pitch to, and now here is a play to JP, the throw to first, and that is in time. Thrown to Luke Rayleigh, and we got one out. Boston has one man on first base so far. George Kirby has a very overwhelming pitching arsenal. And after this commercial, for the next commercial break, we'll talk about your fantasy baseball team, as you are on a struggling start so far.
I don't have a fantasy baseball team.
Fantasy football team. And now the pitch, and that is foul. That is to Josh Smith. And good news for the Mariners, Boston has runners on first and second with one out so far. So Boston has a chance to take this lead and give the Mariners some kind of help. But in order for that help to matter, Mariners have got to... That was for you. They have got to win. They got to help themselves to make all the other help matters. Like, when the Seahawks, when they have playoff implications, not only do they have to win, but they have to allow others to win.
Yeah, but...
Or not allow others, but like they have to rely on others to win. Now the pitch, and that's a foul ball. And you were going to say Epic C Films?
Well, the way our city, the way our... So here's the thing about baseball. And so it says, the organization keeps misdelivering so much. You go to a baseball game, a third of the stadium is empty. Baseball is not like what it used to be. If baseball needs something to bring the resurgence back, to make it more exciting, they try to do the pitching clock as well. That's helped a little bit, but hasn't really brought many fans back to the game. Because I went to a baseball game and it's so empty.
We're looking at the 2-2, and now here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. And they also have pretty severe marketing problems too. They don't really do a good job marketing their players, and they do have really good players in the league so far. As we are looking at a 3-2 for Josh Smith, full count for him. And now here is the pitch by Kirby, and that is going to be a foul ball.
If you walk down the street in the greater Seattle area and you asked them to name one Mariners baseball player currently on the team, could they name one?
Yes, of course. They have marketable names right now.
But could most people name them? I think half the people you ask might not be able to name anyone.
As we're looking at a 3-2, and now here's the pitch, and it's fouled again. And George Kirby got lucky on that one. He threw a meatball right down the middle. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. I am surprised Josh Smith was not able to even capitalize on that. He should have been able to capitalize on that.
And you know who most people would say if they know one baseball player that's currently on the team? They would say Julio. And
now the pitch. And that's a foul ball again. And George Kirby is getting taxed on.
Mm-hmm.
2 outs for Boston as Minnesota is playing into a jam in the bottom of the 4th inning.
If we have this bad of attendance for baseball, or we're not doing that great, then why does Vancouver, Canada, or Portland, Oregon deserve a team?
The 3-2. And now here's a fly ball belted to center field, but Julio is going to be there, and he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 down. I can breathe easy on that one. And we got a base hit right down the line, or not, right down the drop-ins. And Boston is going to score. Now they got a runner. Now that clearly my brain's on vacation though, but Boston just scored, and now they have a 1-0 lead. So thank you, Boston. That's going to help. But the Mariners have got, once again, what did they got to do? Who do they got to help? They have to help themselves. Yeah. So every time I say that, you know what to say. Now the pitch. And that is a strike. The good news is Boston they are now in the lead, but the Mariners have got to
win.
Well, the other one.
Oh, get a base hit.
Help themselves.
Help themselves. Okay,
we're going to practice after this pitch. And now here's the 0-1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Good pitching selection by George Kirby. Okay. The good news is Boston is now winning 1-0, but the Mariners, what do they got to do?
Help themselves.
They have to help themselves. And don't drink.
Yes. So the Mariners right now have the 13th they have the 14th best attendance in baseball out of 30 teams. Are basically middle of the pack for attendance.
And now we're looking at the 0-2 for George Kirby, and now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Wyatt Langford has 28 multi-hit games this season. He is 5th on the team.
What team do you think has the best attendance in baseball?
Houston Astros.
Nope.
New York Yankees.
8th. Yankees are 2nd.
Then who's San Francisco's number 1?
Nope, it's LA Dodgers.
Of course. The 0-2.
Either Dodgers
swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. We go to the top of the 2nd. It is no score. And now, Epic C Films, let's talk about the fantasy football team, because you are in my league. And what is your name on my league?
Epic C Films.
So, Epic C Films.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in week 2, I won my matchup finally in convincing fashion. You got narrowly defeated. I mean, you were really hyped about your team, and now I'm worried about you, man.
I'm not worried about my team because
you're not.
Because the other day I was worried, but after seeing the performances that I got in week 2, I can see where my team has momentum. Because think about this: if we have potentially 5 bad teams in this league off the bat, I pretty much could beat those 5 bad teams. That's gonna be 5 wins. already off the bat there. If there's 12 teams, I could beat at least half of them, especially with the way my team's playing.
Okay. Well, right now you're 0-2.
But I have a 55% chance of winning this week.
Who are you playing this week? 8 equals D?
Yeah.
And I think you know what that really means.
No.
Do you want to know?
I don't really care. Yeah. But my fantasy team has improved. I got some new players in there. I think it's going to get better with some of the moves I made.
I'm hoping that my team gets it going. I should be able to win this week. I'm playing against Seattle Water Bottles, and what is Seattle Water Bottles most famous for?
What, losing?
Well, why does he keep losing?
Because they don't play?
He doesn't even... And yet, he plays fantasy basketball, fantasy WNBA, fantasy baseball, and fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
He even pays for these leagues, and he doesn't even check his team.
Mm-hmm.
And now here is Justin Turner, and a swing and a miss. Mm-hmm. And good news for the Mariners. Orioles are winning 5-0, but what do the Mariners got to do?
Help themselves.
They have got to help themselves. So the Mariners have a very golden opportunity to pick up a game, and now that is outside for a ball. It's going to be a 1-1 to count.
Mm-hmm.
And hoping the Mariners can figure out a way to win this game. Mm-hmm. And now we're looking at the 1-1, and that is a foul ball. That was pretty good contact by Justin Turner, but nothing happening. Justin Turner had a 6-game hitting streak yesterday, but got snapped. Hey, Biffer, how you doing, the Hobbit? And now we're looking at the 1-2 so far for Justin Turner. And now the pitch. And that's a foul ball. He's reaching. Don't like that he's reaching them. But yeah, I should be able to win for my fantasy football. Fantasy baseball, I'm in the championship. I'm getting absolutely demolished. And now here is the 1-2. And that is foul ball again as Justin Turner continues to fight it off. And Epic Sea Films, don't forget yourself that we got a fantasy basketball league to take care of, which is going to be on the 20th. And now we're looking at the 1-2. Now the pitch. Oh, and that is
you mean today?
October the 20th.
Oh, because you said 20th, and like today's the 20th. You have to do it tonight?
I guess so. And we got to do a basketball lottery real soon, which we're going to do by around the 1st of October. And now we're looking at the 2-2. And a swing and a miss, just lazy swinging by the Mariners, and that is now going to be 1 down. Like, that wouldn't have been a good pitch to swing at anyway. So the Mariners, what are they not doing right now, Epic Sea Films?
They're not helping themselves.
The Hobbit, my basketball league and baseball league is full. Flick the switch. Oh, now look, I have my old crew coming back. Now here is Polanco with the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Bad news is Twins have a guy at first base right now, as it is top of the 5th inning. Jorge Polanco, barely a 200 hitter. And now the pitch. Now here is a right to first base. And now we got 2 outs already. This could be a really long game. With all the, I guess the Mariners are getting too comfortable with themselves. Maybe don't pay attention to the other scores. Like, focus on the game. You have to win. Like, should the Mariners be paying attention to other scores, or should they worry about themselves?
Worry about themselves.
I think they're distracting themselves. That's what's going on. And now we're looking at... Now here is the pitch to J.P. Crawford. And that is outside for a ball. And now we're looking at the 1-0 so far. And now here is the pitch. And check swing. Yes, he did go. Doesn't matter because it was already a strike anyway. Well, and flick of the switch, you are correct. The NBA is a shell of its former self. And Epic Sea Films, I'll let you put an opinion on that on the next commercial break, which is about to happen in a few moments. And that is going to be a 2-1 count on J.P. Crawford.
No problem.
JP is 0 for 3 against Jacob deGrom. And now we're looking at the 2-1 so far. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. And now we're looking at the 2-2 for JP Crawford. And now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball. As we're looking at a 3-2 count so far on JP Crawford. And now here is the pitch. And that is popped up and fouled again. And JP Crawford is really fighting this off the best that he possibly can. As we're looking at the 3-2 by DeGrom. 37 pitches already. Mariners have been working on him. And the 3-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to retire the side. We go to bottom of the second. It is no score. And Epic C Films, how do you feel about this current state of the NBA? Because we got Flick of the Switch saying the NBA is terrible. Far cry from the 70s or the 80s and 90s. So what is your opinions on the NBA today?
So if you actually look at it, one thing you have to look at is you have to take every sport into consideration. If you look at, well, not even every sport, but just let's say the 4 major sports. If you took like baseball, if you took like baseball, basketball, and football, and you took those are the 3 main sports, maybe next is soccer or hockey in America. You take those 4 sports, and you actually look at those sports and say, which sport gets the best attendance? We know football is getting the best attendance. So if basketball is really that bad, it depends on what you're looking at and what time frames you're looking at. Because technically, even if basketball's on the decline, I bet there's still more average viewership now than there was in the 80s and the 80s and 90s. You'd have to like look at the stats, because if more people are still watching it now than there is then is it really worse? Viewership.
Well, let's take a look at the. Well, have you taken a look at the viewership, because you do claim to be the data man? Yeah, take a look at that. So you don't sound like you're talking out of your butt.
But yeah, because they said, yeah. Let's see the last few years there. Because I'm looking at some stats here. I'm trying to find the last few years if I can find them. Let's see. Because I don't think the NBA is doing that bad. So let me find average viewership.
Well, while you're looking that up here, I'm going to show a commercial. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage. Now we are back from the break, and so this is Adolis Garcia. Hold that thought until commercial break.
No problem.
We got Adolis Garcia. He does pitch well against the Rangers typically, but he's got to figure it out today. As we are looking at the 0-1 for George Kirby, and now the pitch to Adolis Garcia, and that is going to be a strike, and he took a risk by giving him a nice middle of the plate pitch. And now we are looking at the 0-2 so far for Adolis Garcia. Adolis Garcia, one of the dangerous hitters of the Texas Rangers, but is 4 for 17 against George Kirby, and now the pitch. And that is going to be up high for a ball, 1-2 on Adolis Garcia. As we are looking at the 1-2 so far. And now here is the pitch. And that is a foul ball. We're looking at the 1-2 for Adolis Garcia. Now the pitch. Up high for a ball. We're looking at a 2-2 for Adolis Garcia. Last series, he had 5 RBIs against the Blue Jays. Hopefully the Mariners will prevent that. Now the pitch. And now here is a liner, and that is going to drop in for a base hit as Adolis Garcia gets on base, as that will be the first hit surrendered by the Mariners, thanks to Adolis Garcia. That was a nice, beautiful hit by Adolis Garcia, and the worst part of it, there's no outs so far. Mariners have got to get out of this quickly, because if they don't, things will be troubling. 21 pitches for Kirby so far. And here is Nathaniel Lowe. And now the pitch. And that was right in there for a strike. Nathaniel Lowe looking at an 0-1 so far. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a ball. That's going to be a 1-1 to count. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. That's going to be a 2-1 count on Nathaniel Lowe. We're looking at the 2-1 so far for Nathaniel. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's an 88-mile-an-hour fastball or slider. I think that was a slider. There's no way that would have been a fastball. As we are looking at the 2-2 so far. And now the 2-2. And strike 3 called, and Nathaniel Lowe will go down in strikes. Nice pitching by George Kirby. And now we got one down. Now here is Jonah Heim. Now here is Jonah Heim, and now the pitch, and that is a foul ball. And Jonah Heim usually doesn't really hit well against George Kirby. Also 4 for 17. As was Adolis Garcia. Christian, how's it going? Taylor Swift, for example, has a huge following, but does that make her music a better quality? So Flick of the Switch cares about the quality. As we are looking at the 0-1, now the pitch, and that is popped up, and that's going to be strike 2 on Jonah Heim.
Just depends on what you care about.
I guess so.
Because for most businesses, it doesn't matter about the quality. It just matters about it making money. If you're profitable, that's all they care about. You look at Transformers for years. Good example.
And now the pitch. And that is going to be a ball. As we're looking at the 1-2 so far.
And Taylor Swift has catchy songs that people remember.
Only in your wildest dreams.
Hey, I'm just saying, people remember her songs. A lot of people could name one of her popular songs.
Unfortunately, I can too. Now the pitch, and that's a ground ball foul, and Adolis Garcia was on the move for second base.
It was an interesting question the other day. I was watching a stream, and the guy was talking about what kind of concerts should be at the Super Bowl. What kind of concerts should be there?
What
should be at the concerts? They're talking about like the concerts and like what's happened over the years and how they've morphed and changed and who showed up and who they get to like perform.
And now the pitch, and that's going to be popped up to left field, and Arozarena is going to be there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 down.
Well, look at the switch. You're kind of rare then.
I guess he is.
For not knowing a Taylor Swift song. Either you're older. Yeah, potentially you're older, and that's why you don't know a Taylor Swift song. And you don't have any kids or something like that? Or know any
I
younger
don't
people?
know about that. Let's not push those kind of assumptions.
No, I don't want to push any assumptions.
Now the pitch, outside for a ball.
Hmm.
And now we're looking at the 1-0 for so far for Ezekiel Duran. And now the pitch. And that is popped up, and that is fouled. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
What?
Now we're looking at the 1 and 2 so far for Ezekiel Duran. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball.
That's a...
And now we're looking at the 2 and 2. And now the pitch. Did he go around? Yes, he did. And that is going to be strike 3. And that is going to retire the side. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It is still no score. If we win games, what's more important, Minnesota and Detroit losing or Houston losing? At this point, we're going for the wild card. I do not want to waste time hoping for the division because it's a 5-game deficit.
Yeah, because even if you win 3 games, it's only 3 games caught up if you beat Houston 3 games in a row.
And that's if Houston loses 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, I don't think you can bank on that. And let's see how Houston is doing and to see if it even matters anyway. Yeah, Houston is playing Anaheim at home. They're playing against a team that's 62 and 91. Do you really think, does anyone think the Mariners are going to pick up 3 games on Houston when they're playing a tough team against the Texas Rangers and the Astros are playing against a team that pretty much quit?
Mm-hmm.
The only chance is wild card. Yeah. Like, what's more delusional? Brittany Griner saying that she could beat DeMarcus Cousins in a one-on-one game of basketball, or the Mariners winning the division? What's more delusional, Epic C Films? Which one's more likely to happen?
What's more likely to happen?
Brittany Griner beating DeMarcus Cousins in the game of basketball, and they're both in their primes. This is prime DeMarcus Cousins we're talking about.
Not DeMarcus Cousins.
Or the Mariners winning the division with a 5-game deficit.
They can win the division. It's possible.
So you're saying that's more likely than Brittany Griner beating DeMarcus Cousins in a game of basketball?
Yeah, because I think Brittany Griner is overrated.
You want to know something about Brittany Griner? Now, this is in no way of being sexist. The thing was, Brittany Griner didn't even lead the WNBA in rebounds herself, while DeMarcus Cousins was a top 5 rebounder.
Mm-hmm.
So if she can't get rebounds in the game WNBA, how is she going to do that in the NBA?
I found some interesting stats about the NBA. It's in the last 20 years, the best 2 years for viewership for people watching it was actually
16.
No, it was 2010, 2011, 2011, 2012.
Oh, and now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that is gone. That's a home run for Josh Rojas. That was totally worth cutting you off. And the Mariners have a 1-0 lead on a home run by Josh Rojas.
Yeah.
And now, as of now, if it stands today, all the scores, the Mariners will pick up a game on the wild card. What a hit by Rojas. That just came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the attendance of the NBA, like the viewership of the NBA now is about the same as it was in 2002, 2003.
And now here is Victor Robles. Now the pitch. as he reaches for a bunt, and that's a foul ball.
You know one area that the NBA got more viewership this year?
What?
In France.
France has high viewership?
No, their viewership went up over 100%. It went up like 177% or something like that because of Victor Wembanyama.
Now here's a bunt attempt. That's gonna be strike 2, and Victor Robles can't bunt again. Jason, how you doing? Thank you.
Hello.
You know, we know this guy, don't we?
Yes.
As we're looking at the 0-2, and he tries to bunt again, and the throw to first, and not in time. That was a very gutsy call by Victor Robles. He bunted on 2 strikes, and he is safe. Had that gone foul, that would have been a strikeout. So Victor Robles is now on first base, and the Mariners have opportunities to break this open. Victor Robles doing all the hustle plays when it matters most. Even after that contract extension, he is still playing for his life. And now here's Julio Rodriguez to hopefully capitalize, and that is going to be outside for a ball.
Let's see.
That was very gutsy by Victor Robles. And now we're looking at the 1-0 so far. And now here's the pitch to Julio. And that is outside for a ball. That's going to be a 1-0, 2-0 count so far. Astros beating the Angels so far here in the top of the third, so that's why that the division may not even be a factor anymore. And the throw to first, not in time. The only way, I mean, best case scenario, maybe if the Mariners sweep and the Astros win, like, they go 2 of 3 even, you'll be 4 games back, and if you sweep Houston, then you could be 1 game back, but it's very wishful thinking. As we are looking at the 2-1, and at this point, I think the Mariners should just focus on the wild card and not put so much pressure on themselves to win that division. Just go for that wild card. At least get to the playoffs for crying out loud. As we are looking at the 2-1 for Julio Rodriguez. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball, more like a pop-up, and that's going all the way to center field, and that's nothing going to be doing as he makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 out. As Victor Robles is still stuck at first base.
What year do you think was the most watched World Series ever?
2016.
Nope.
2001.
Nope.
How close am I?
Not close at all.
And now here is Cal Raleigh going to be up to the plate. And the throw to first, not in time.
Did you give up?
No. Okay, name the team. Name a team.
Oh,
no, just one team. One team.
Okay, Yankees.
Yeah, I figured. Now the pitch. 1996.
Nope.
2009.
Nope.
2000.
Nope.
Okay, what year was it?
1978. Most
really? Against the Dodgers?
Yes.
Reggie Jackson.
So,
and now crazy. The pitch. And that is inside for a ball.
Yeah. Like, none of the ones you mentioned, I think none of the ones you mentioned even cracked the top 10.
Wow. 1978 was the most watched in history?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that's how much baseball has not been getting bigger and bigger.
Foul ball, and that's going to be strike 2 on Cal Raleigh.
Yeah. Look, number 9 is the newest year on here, and that's 1991. That's number 9.
I guess so.
So it's insane. Yeah.
And now the pitch. And now, nope. Victor Robles thought of stealing. I think he could have. And now we're looking at the 2-2.
What makes this even crazier stat, though, is a lot of these games were before a lot of people had TVs in their house. Like 78, how many people actually had TVs?
As we're looking at the 2-2 so far for Cal Raleigh. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball as he is still fighting it off.
That's funny. Flick the switch says the Subway series. He was thinking it was the Yankees and the Mets. That's funny.
That did have hype to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he said everybody
Now
had
the
TVs
pitch.
in 1978.
I think he's making fun of you. We got a strikeout for Cal Raleigh, and that's going to be 2 outs. Now it's going to be up to Randy Arozarena to extend this inning.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at Randy Arozarena. And the throw to first, not in time. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a ball. As we're looking at the 0-1 so far. And looks like bad news. Oh, barely, almost a home run. Looks like Boston dodged the bullet. They nearly gave up a home run. And that is going to be strike 2 on Randy Arozarena. As we are looking at the 0-2, Angels have just tied the game against the Houston Astros. And now the pitch. And now the throw to second. And not in time. And Victor Robles is going to get a free bag to third base as his stolen base effort has paid off. And now you got a runner on third base. Randy Arozarena now has a chance to even get any kind of a run in with a runner in scoring position, but he may not. And is Minnesota going to score? Nope, they are not going to score. Minnesota is on the verge of scoring, I can tell you that. We got a 1-2 pitch coming up for Randy Arozarena.
That's sad. How bad the World Series attendance viewership was last
Hold on,
year.
and we are looking at the 1-2, and now the pitch. And that is low for a ball. That's going to be a 2-2 count. Now we're looking at the 2-2.
We can get this
for Arozarena. And now the 2-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep left field. Is that going to be enough? And I jinxed it. All right, I'll take the blame, everyone. It's my fault. I jinxed it. I hyped it up. It's my fault.
How often do they miss a fly ball? Even when I was watching the game last week, I was like, it's like if you communicate correctly, the other team catches the fly ball like 99% of the time.
I don't know. I'm kind of moody because I thought Randy Arozarena hit that home run. Just makes me very sad.
Wow. The least watched World Series in the last 50 years was last year.
Last year was the least watched. Yeah, I can see that. In Texas and Arizona, nobody cared.
50 years, you know, those two teams against each other. It was like...
Oh, Epic Sea Films. Guess the 2 planes that I took. Guess the 2 airliners I took to go to Brazil and back. Flick to the switch. You have every right to hold me accountable for that. Yes, that's exactly what I did. I apologize. No, this is what Dave sends it. And here's a pitch to Randy Arozarena. Oh, that's going. Giddy up. Oh, it's caught. That's what he sounds like. All right, so guess the 2 airliners I used to get to Brazil and back.
Delta. United.
United was the one going back.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who else? American?
Yep. American was to go there.
Mm.
There's something with American and like American loves to go to Texas.
Well, aren't they headquartered there?
That would make sense. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're purely Dallas.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure Alaska Airlines is a Seattle one.
No,
No,
yeah,
it's
Alaska,
an LA
Seattle, and Alaska only goes to like Mexico. It doesn't really go that far south. And I knew Southwest didn't go that far south.
Josh Rojas makes the catch. Oh, and guess where it was founded? Guess where Alaska was founded?
Yeah, in Alaska.
Yeah. United Airlines is a Illinois.
Yeah.
What Southwest? I'm gonna guess it's a Texas.
Yeah.
Southwest is a Texas.
Yeah.
And Dallas.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at the pitch by George Kirby and the pitch. And that is a strike. U.S. Airways was bought out by American Airlines.
Oh, U.S. Airways? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Northwest was bought out. Hawaiian was the newest one bought out. Hawaiian got bought out by Alaska.
No surprise.
Funny, Alaska was bigger than Hawaiian.
Who bought Northwest? I heard Northwest wasn't exactly a good flight. They're with Delta.
Merger Delta, yeah.
And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford to throw to first. Bad throw, but he gets him out in time. Pan Am. Looking at Pan Am. I did not take Pan Am. Pan Am is a Miami airliner.
Oh, they still exist?
No, they've been gone. I think Pan Am had a disaster. I think Pan Am had like a disaster airplane, like a disaster crash that led to the fall of their business. Like, I'm sure you've heard of the downfall of the Trans World Airlines. The pitch. Now here is a liner. Oh, that is caught by Josh Rojas as a throw to first. In time, he got a 1-2-3 inning. That inning just got out in the blink of an eye. I'll take that. And it looks like Josh Rojas looked like he was shaking up. Nope, he's okay.
December 4th,
yeah.
December 4th, 1991, they ceased operations, Pan Am.
Did they have a plane disaster that led to their demise?
I don't know. There was a TV show about it. They made like a TV show about it, but I don't.
1988. They had a crash in 1988, which led to no survivors. They had a plane from the United Kingdom. Their destination was Detroit, and the crash site. It was a terrorist attack, which led to their demise. Mm-hmm. They went bankrupt from forged checks. I think the biggest disaster in history and in business was Trans World Airlines. Have you heard of the TWA Flight 800 disaster?
No, never heard of it.
Have you seen the movie Flight with Denzel Washington?
Yes.
Did you know that movie was based on the events that happened with the crash of the Alaska Airlines? So they had a very similar nosedive because of the bad jack screw. And the thing that Denzel Washington pulled off, where he basically flipped the plane and to make it go up somehow. Yeah. Alaska tried to pull that off, but unfortunately they failed. But they had a lot, from what I heard, I think they had a lot less altitude to work with. That's the thing. Like, every time I go on these plane rides, I always have these adrenalines. Like, every time there's like turbulence, it's like I like freak out. I'm like, are we gonna die? Are we gonna die? We're gonna die.
Oh.
But you would think in turbulences it's just a smooth thing. But they supposedly say that these planes are designed to handle these turbulences.
Yeah. I used to work in aerospace, so. But one of my favorite airplane movies is a movie called Non-Stop.
Never seen it.
Liam Neeson.
I will find you, and I will beat you. And now we're looking at the 0-1 so far. And now here is the pitch. And that is low for a ball. But yeah, flick of the switch. When I flew going back to Houston, I dealt with the turbulence. It was not fun. Like, it was like shaking for like 10 minutes straight, and I thought I was going to die. The 1-1 and a foul ball. That's going to be a 1-2 to count on Luke Raley.
Do you have a favorite baseball player?
Right now?
Yeah.
Like modern?
Yes.
Yordan Alvarez of Houston.
Okay.
And the 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Awful swing by Luke Raley. Hit the dirt. As Boston has hit a pop fly, and that's not going to get anything done.
Who's your current favorite Mariners player?
George Kirby, the guy who's pitching right now.
Okay.
And now we got Justin Turner up to the plate. Hoping the Mariners can add some more runs, because we know that the 1-0 lead, it is clearly not enough. And now the pitch. And that is going to be in there for a strike, even though I disagreed with the call. It was outside the strike zone, clearly. But you can't really blame umpires when you lose a game.
Do you think pitcher is the most important position in baseball?
And that is going to be strike 2. You were saying?
Do you think pitchers are the most important position in baseball?
Everything has its equal importance. But pitching is very important, of course. And now we're looking at the 0-2, and now here is the pitch. And why did you swing at that? Like, why did you swing at that, Justin?
Rye, New York. George Kirby's from Rye, New York.
Yep, he's my favorite player on the Mariners right now. Ownership is the most important position in Major League Baseball.
That's funny.
And the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 1. Jorge Polanco's got to figure out a way to. And bad news for the Mariners, if you care about the division, Astros just hit a 2-run home run, so that pretty much, forget about the division on that one. The pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 2.
You're technically not out until you're mathematically out.
That's cute. And now we are looking at the 0-2 pitch, and that is outside for a ball. And now we're looking at the 1-2 and the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's going to be caught by the left fielder, and that's going to retire the side. We go to bottom of the 4th. Mariners lead 1-0. SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description. And thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut. Yeah, do not take my advice. Actually, this is a question for you, Epic Sea Films. Maybe I want you to answer this one, but do you think the Seahawks stay undefeated against Miami this weekend?
Yes, they do. I think the Seahawks do stay undefeated. I don't expect the quarterback to
actually play at a high level.
Well, Tua's not playing. Skylar Thompson's playing. Their backup.
So Seahawks, it's pretty much their game to lose.
Yes, and I think it's a home game also. So if it's
It's
a
a home
home game,
game.
we usually win home games. And so just those two things going for us is we have a home game and we're playing a team that they say this quarterback doesn't look the greatest. Maybe he will be more prepared this week than he was last week when he had to step in. So I think that's kind of the issue. And so right now we're favored to win the game. I think we will stay undefeated. I think our biggest matchup is going to be in week 4, Monday night against Detroit. That'll be our biggest matchup so far this year.
Be a test. Yep.
We've had easy competition. So can you say we're great right now? You can't say we're a
No,
great team.
too easy. Too early to say.
You can say we're decent, but you can't say we're great right now because we haven't played hard competition yet.
And now here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Kevin Kirby really hopes that Dave Sims gets that job with the Yankees. Nobody likes Dave Sims. Wait, Dave Sims, is he in the running for the Yankees position? I want to know more about this, Kevin. And now we're looking at the 1-0. And now here's a line drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Now you got a man on first base, and this is where Texas can get dangerous.
Do you see Scott Service, the Mariners' old coach, getting a job anytime soon?
No.
You know?
Maybe bench coach at most.
Bench coach.
Hey, at least he's still going to make 6 figures, so you can't really laugh at him too much.
Oh,
he's still going to have a job somewhere. I just don't see him as a manager.
Well, it's crazy in some sports. It's like you take a pay cut for a year or two, and all of a sudden you can get like a high salary again if you do really well. So.
And now here is Wyatt Langford as we're looking at the 1-0 so far. Now the pitch, and that is low for a ball as we're looking at the 2-0 count so far.
Ooh. Some teams are going to luck out this week. Seahawks are lucking out. Looks like the Chargers, Herbert might be out.
As we are looking at the 2-0, and now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left center field, and Julio is there, and he makes the catch.
Do you think the Mariners will ever win a World Series in your lifetime?
No.
You think they'll ever make a World Series?
I don't know. He is one of the finalists to be on radio for the Yankees. Yes! Please! Please take the job. Give me the job. The throw to first, and it is not in time. Hey, if I got paid, I can just pay people to do my editing work. Like you. Now here is Adolis Garcia. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball.
I was watching The Herd the other day, and they mentioned that he was a Seahawks fan, Colin Cowherd. And I was like, oh, and I looked him up. He was born in Aberdeen, Washington.
Who?
Colin Cowherd.
Oh, wow. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
So I was like surprised by that. So he's from this neck of the woods. So
Astros have just extended the lead to make it 6-1. So seriously, I think we can forget about the division on that one.
Not necessarily, because if you win,
no, forget it.
3 games against.
Don't care. And now the 0-2, and that is a foul ball. As we're looking at the 0-2 so far. And now the 0-2. And Garcia reaches out. That's going to be an 0-2 still, as that was a foul ball. Still waiting on that 0-2 so far for Adolis Garcia. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. Garcia is waiting on the 1-2 so far. And now the pitch. That is fouled again, and Garcia continues to fight it off. Now we're looking at the 1-2. And now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. This could be problems. And here is Randy Arozarena, and that's going to be a double for Adolis Garcia. Now you got runners on second and third with just one out. And now this is where things could get really out of hand. And if I were the Mariners, I would probably just take the bat away from Nathaniel Lowe. I would just do the intentional walk. I mean, who likes Angie Mentic anyway?
What percentage do you think the Mariners have right now to win their division? I found a stat on it.
I would say close to a 0% chance. Now here is Nathaniel Lowe, and I don't understand why George Kirby isn't walking Nathaniel Lowe. I think you should definitely walk him. Yes, even if you're 4 for 17. Yeah, flick of the switch. You probably were old enough to remember Angie Arlotti. Remember that Angie? A little bit different Angie. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
So the stat says them to win their division is a 1.6% chance.
Yeah, no.
So it's better than you think, but still not great.
How about the wild card?
To make playoffs, 5.1%. They only give them a 5.1% chance.
And now we're looking at the 1-1, the pitch. And that's going to be a ball. And that's going to be a 1-1 so far.
They actually have odds of them winning the World Series.
Do they?
Yes. What do you think that is?
Not good.
0.3%.
And the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike two.
So they say that there's still possibility of them maybe winning the World Series, but that's like a long shot.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at the 2-2 thus far.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-2 pitch to Nathaniel Lowe. Now here's the pitch. And now here is the line drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. One run is in, and is Garcia going to score? It looks like he is going to, and he has scored, and now the Rangers have taken a 2-1 lead, and this is exactly why I wanted an intentional walk. If I was the manager, I would have loaded the bases to give your chance up. Excuse me. I got to... yeah. You know how hard the Mariners work just to score one fucking run? Now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, going to be double play ball, throw to second, throw to first. Imagine if they took...
Dustin says World Series odds just dropped.
For the Mariners to throw. And
what is it now like a 0.1? Or is it 0.2 now? Yeah, did you see that comment from Dustin? That was that's funny. I don't know. I'm just a little bit like the way I think about baseball because I'm not a baseball fan and because the Mariners haven't done anything exciting. They've never done anything since like I've been into sports that made me look up and say, "Hey, I would want to change my mind and be a baseball fan." You know, if they were good, maybe I would want to become a baseball fan. Maybe be more interested in their team. But like of the teams, they're like of the major sports teams in our city, they're like maybe fourth down the list of like popularity for even me wanting to pay attention to. Like I would say, I'm more interested in the Seahawks. I'm more interested in the WNBA Storm. They're more interesting to me. I'm more interested in the Kraken. I'm more interested in like the Sounders. They win more often than the Mariners. It's like likability wise, like even if you take out like, and then there's like the women's soccer team, the OL Reign and stuff like that. But I'm like, they're not really that popular. So you're talking about where do they lie on popularity in the city? The Mariners might be third or fourth. Like even the Kraken are gaining more popular, growing popularity.
They do have a growing popularity.
Yeah.
And
So
now
like,
that is outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-0. Oh, Epic Sea Films, you're getting some comments. And now here's the 2-0. And there is the line drive, and that is going to be a base hit. And that is going to be a single for J.P. Crawford.
The WNBA is growing this year. Like I went to a game this year. It was a Caitlin Clark game, and it was the highest attendance ever for a WNBA game for the Storm. It was over 18,000 people there in the stadium stands. So there is even the viewership has gone up this year. It's not like baseball viewership wise, no, but it is growing. And so
now here's J.P. Crawford, or not J.P. Crawford. Here's Josh Rojas has a chance to at least tie this game. And now the pitch, and that is outside for a ball.
And if you have a lot of like foreigners or international people in your city, soccer can become very popular in that city.
And now the pitch, and that is going to be a ball. And now the pitch. And now here is a ground ball. Basically a glorified sacrifice bunt. And barely got Josh Rojas out.
Yeah.
Kevin Kirby says, Seahawks, Kraken, Mariners, Sounders, then Storm. Isn't that crazy? The Kraken has barely cracked the NHL for a few seasons, and there's already more popular than the Mariners. And it took them like 20 years to get some kind of popularity.
Yeah, but that list kind of makes sense. I get your list; it makes sense. I can see that. We're like, Mariners are third. Like I said, I was thinking Mariners were like fourth, but yeah, you could see that and stuff.
And now here is Victor Robles up to the plate, and now here's the pitch, and he's going for a bunt, and that bounces, and and it bobbles away, and that is going to be an infield base hit.
But because
let me do this slow. Hold on, let me do a slow clap. And now we've got runners on first and third. Now we got Julio Rodriguez probably going to screw this up, as he always does.
Because I almost might flip-flop Mariners and Sounders in popularity.
And that is a foul ball. Seattle Storm are now in the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah. What an exciting WNBA fantasy season.
Do I need to be reminded about that? Because
Who's
I forgot to play Diana Taurasi.
That wouldn't have helped you either. I would have just thrown another player in there and would have.
No, you don't know that.
Hey, if you have the speed, bunting's not a bad option.
Well, that's what the Mariners sometimes refuse to do. And now the pitch. And here's a fly ball to deep left field. And that is gone. That's a home run, a 3-run home run for Julio Rodriguez. And not only are the Mariners back in business, they have now taken the lead. What a blast by Julio. I am in just absolute shock by that. The Mariners absolutely needed that. And now they have a 4-2 lead, and Epic Sea Films take me to that.
I don't watch baseball much, but what I've been seeing lately, Julio's been stepping up. When they need a big hit, he's been getting the big hit. You know, ever since that injury in August, and getting over that and getting rid of and getting past August, he's starting to get back into rhythm. So Julio is doing what he needs to do.
I keep forgetting to do the Julio. It's supposed to be like this. Here's a fly ball to deep left field, and that is gone. Julio!
Yeah. And currently there's 12 teams in the WNBA. They're adding 2 more teams. So they're going to go up to, in the next couple of years, they're going to go up to 14 teams, and they're trying to get up to 16 eventually.
That's what we need. That's what we like. That's what we like out of... That's what we like out of the WNBA. We want the league to grow. I know that there was a lot of controversy with the league, with their political stances and the fact they couldn't draw people and the attitude towards NBA players. But right now, they're in a good spot right now where they are in a very significant growth. And it's been a pretty rapid growth. And hopefully Caitlin Clark can take this league much forward, which it is well-deserved.
Yeah, 8 teams make the playoffs. Yes, 8.
That's crazy. The pitch.
But when you change it,
now here's a ground ball right to... Oh, the bobbles away, and now Cal Raleigh gets on first base, and I think that's going to be an error. And now, I think you've maybe heard about the facts that there's a rumor that Caitlin Clark might be losing her conservative fan base because she did like a post where Taylor Swift is endorsing Kamala Harris, and... Here's my stance on this. I'm not going to say what my political stances are, but here's my thing. Caitlin Clark was heavily loved by the conservative fan base. And all I can say is this. If Caitlin Clark went the other way around, there would have been a much more massive meltdown from the other side. Wouldn't you agree? So here's my thing. Whether you agree with Caitlin Clark about what she thinks, it's none of anyone's business. It's like, it's her place to say what she wants to say, and no one should judge her on what you put on a piece of paper or what button you're pressing. Now the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. The only thing I care about is I just want the league to grow. That's all I care about.
Yeah, my whole thing is that if you look into a lot of your celebrities and look at a lot of the people you follow, famous people you follow, half of them will have something in their skeletons in their closet that you might not like. So you almost have to separate the athlete or like the actor or whatever their profession is from their actual like what they've done. The talent from the person.
Like Pat Mahomes. His wife is endorsing Trump, I believe, and maybe some would think that as a shock. Emmett Brown's in favor of judging. You know what? I don't judge you for judging.
Yeah. But like
you're allowed an opinion in the pitch. And that is outside for a ball 1-2. Remember that this channel is a place for everyone to say whatever the heck they want. Yeah. I don't do community guidelines. Community guidelines is for wimps.
Yeah. I like Pat Mahomes because of what he did in his second Super Bowl victory, the road he got there, because he played through an ankle injury.
Too. And that is a foul ball.
So, well, I think a lot of people praise him for that.
As we're looking at the 1-2 for Randy Arozarena. And 4-2, this game has gone by. This game has really been flipping really fast.
I'm not a big fan of division winners.
And the 1-2.
I think most
And
sports
strike 3 called, and now we got 2 outs. Emmett Brown says, Caitlin's all right. No one's perfect. Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word to say? No one's perfect.
Yes, I think that's a good way to
and
put
I
it.
I don't think she should lose the quote fan base all over that. Like, you know, she's an Iowa grown. People should still support her. And I know that politics is a very sensitive subject, but that's the reason why we have these problems is because, oh, and now here's a bunt, and that's a beauty. The throw to first in time, but that was a really good bunt by Luke Raley, and he had to restrain himself. He almost threw the helmet on the ground as that's going to retire the side. But Julio, or shall I say, Julio! With a home run.
What do you
She's
think
not losing any fans that already don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
She certainly isn't. Like, that's the thing that bothers me. So many people don't like Caitlin Clark because certain reasons. Before this whole Taylor Swift thing, like before that, the other side was really against her. Like, they were showing jealousy and hate. They were saying how much Angel Reese, they were saying Angel Reese should have been Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark. Like, no. Caitlin Clark is a shoo-in Rookie of the Year. I mean,
one of the things we looked at was fantasy stats, and if you look at all the things, Caitlin Clark's fantasy numbers were way higher than the next closest person. Maybe Angel Reese was the next closest, but like, you know, people are starting to take other things into consideration. We're not just looking at pure talent.
But Angel Reese didn't have as much as an impact. And Emmett Brown says maybe that was a play to gain fans that already didn't like her. Yeah, maybe that was a way for all the haters to just shut their mouths because
just shake it off. What's her favorite song? Just shake it off. Just shake it off. Shake.
Here's the thing, like Epic Steve Films, like we clearly don't agree on everything, but hey, we're still doing a show together. We play fantasy sports together. We go to Bible studies together. We eat food. We hang out all the time. We don't make it a problem. Do we make it a problem of who we vote for? Nope. Now, we talk about it all the time, don't we?
Yes, but
we never make it a problem.
No, because the whole thing at the end of the day is everybody has their personal opinion, and you just move on and stuff like that. And if someone is a good person at the end of the day, and you have something in line, like we both like sports, we can kind of like be on a level playing field.
The thing is, it's like the real enemy of this whole thing. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. That could be trouble, and that's going to be dropping in for a base hit. That's going to be a ground rule double. No, the thing is, like, the real villains is the media and the politicians. They're the ones that are pinning us against each other. I think that's the real problem, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Well, here's the interesting thing, and they say in media and they say in general. You get more support for things that people like hate. Like the more negative stuff you say, the more like support you're going to get than basically for the things you like. It's like people will talk about more of the things they hate than the things they like. So if you keep bringing up negative things, people will be like, well, I want to tell other people about this negative thing that I heard.
And now the throw to second, and that is not in time. You know, Emmett Brown, I'm not going to show that. I'm not going to show the comment because I just don't want YouTube to get all feisty with me, but I would be curious of what kind of reaction that would get if the WNBA did allow that. But I do think, I'm just curious. I'm not going to say what my opinions are, but I would be extremely curious to see what happens if the WNBA actually allowed that to happen.
Have you ever seen a movie called Joanna Man?
No. And now here is Leody Taveras. And hopefully the Mariners flick of the switch said that would be awesome. As we were looking at the 0-1, and now the pitch, and that is popped up and fouled. Oh, actually it's popped up and it could be playable. And Josh Rojas makes the catch. And I wonder who is next up to the plate.
What year was that movie?
It is going to be Ornelas. So I don't think that doing the intentional walk would be necessary. Well, you know that Epic Sea Films and I, before Caitlin Clark became a thing. Dustin, I think I know what you're referring to. I'm just going to say BG. Is that what you're referring to? I'm not going to say the name out loud. I'm just going to say codes because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. And now here's the pitch. And that was right down the middle for a strike. And I can see why George Kirby pitched on him because Jonathan Ornelas, not exactly a big hitter on the team. As we're looking at the 0-1 so far for Jonathan Ornelas. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2.
There was a 2002 movie, Juana Man.
Never heard of it. As we're looking at the 0-2 so far. And now the pitch. And that is going to be up high for a ball. Flick of the switch. Aren't you something else? As we're looking at the 1-2. And now here's the pitch. And that is low for a ball. 2-2.
Is there a women's Major League Softball league or something?
No, but I'd actually pay money to watch that.
You would?
I actually would. I actually would watch professional women's softball. I'd actually pay money for that. Because college softball is really fun to watch from what I heard. The 2-2. And that is a foul ball. Bronny's about to be goated. Yeah, Bronny's... oh, Bronny. So there actually is. It started in 2022. In Oklahoma City, believe it or not.
Wow, interesting.
And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to be playable. Throw to first. In time. So, yeah, the teams are now just in Texas. So they have started. They started in 2022. They're all in Texas. So believe it or not, it's a state of Texas and Oklahoma that's trying to get it going. Believe it or not. Because softball and baseball are huge in those areas. As we're looking at Marcus Simeon. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. I'd actually pay money for that. Maybe I'll go to a softball game someday.
Yeah. 4 teams.
So we're looking at the 0-1.
Look at the names of these teams.
And the pitch. And that is going to be a ball. Epic Sea Films, I think maybe we should consider going to Arizona Seahawks game someday. Mm-hmm. And now we're looking at the 1-1. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball belted to right field. And Robles is there and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side as George Kirby got himself out of a slight jam. We go to the bottom of the top of the 6th. And it is 4-2.
Look at this. Like one of the teams is called the Texas Smoke. It's like one's the Coastal Bend Tidal Wave. Mm-hmm.
Man, they're really showing that. Okay, here is an objective opinion. Here's all I've noticed. So Dave Reichert for governor versus Bob Ferguson for governor. So here's the thing. Whenever I watch these Mariners and Seahawks games or football games, I see a lot of Bob Ferguson commercials. Dave Reichert, I haven't even seen one commercial. So I think we already have the idea who's going to win. And I think even without those commercials, it wouldn't have mattered. And excuse me, I got to play another commercial. Are you looking to optimize your office, studio, or man cave? The Glance LED ticker may be for you. It is a customizable LED display providing real-life sports scores, stock prices, crypto, the news, and even the weather. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get 10% off the purchase, and thank you. Oh yeah, the Dragons. It's very tragic how the XFL Dragons didn't work out. I mean, they had a really good league. Or they had a really good team. They were a playoff team. I think I'm correct.
Yeah, they were a good team, and they got good attendance. But the problem was that LA couldn't maintain their team, and then Vegas couldn't maintain their team. So basically, they scrapped the West Coast because of travel time reasons. Because all the teams practice in Texas, I think it's like Arlington or something like that, and they all get distributed from Arlington out to where they're going to play that week.
It's very tragic.
And they condensed it down to 8 teams, so they only have to travel 4 teams of 4 cities. Well, 8 teams of 4 cities. If the league keeps growing, they will. If people do support it, it will grow. And what they did notice was when they combined the USFL and the XFL together to the United Football League, when they came in the United Football League, they actually got a bigger attendance on average per game. But if you take both combined individually, it's different because some people overlap to watch both. But at the end of the day, they're getting better attendance viewership now than they were when they were 2 separate leagues, because sometimes they had games that overlapped time frames.
And now the pitch, and that is a foul ball.
Yes. And are you more of a fan of the term fast pitch or softball?
Well, I'm a slow pitch guy.
Okay.
As we're looking at the 2-1 so far for Justin Turner. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike 2-2.
It's interesting. This women's fast professional fast pitch league, they actually have a sponsor. Their shoe sponsor is New Balance. that's
and the 2-2. And strike 3 called. Down goes Justin Turner. Flick of the switch. Your comments don't surprise me.
Oh, man.
Mariners are still 2 games back from the wild card. Tigers have just lost their game. So if the Mariners win today, they'll pick up a game on the Tigers at least, but now I need the Twins to lose. Now here's Polanco outside for a ball. Emmett Brown, Julio has 17 home runs right now. As we're looking at the 1-0 so far on Jorge Polanco. And now the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball, 2-0. Polanco has 15 home runs and 41 RBI so far, batting 198. As we are looking at the 2-0 so far. And here's the pitch. And an awful swing and a miss, and that's going to be a 2-1 count on Jorge Polanco. Yeah, 17 home runs is weak compared that he had 32 home runs last season that Julio Rodriguez had, and he was expecting himself to hit 40 or something, and that didn't really work out because the guy swings like at literally everything. And the pitch, and that's going to be foul ball again. Julio is, 17 home runs, has a 321 on base percentage, 147 strikeouts. The only thing that's going to prevent him from getting 200 strikeouts is that he was injured throughout the season or part of the season, the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball, 3-2 for Jorge Polanco. And the pitch. And popped up, and that's going to be, will it be playable going into? Yep, that's going to be playable. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 outs.
Would you ever go to a rugby game?
Nah.
Seattle has a rugby team.
Actually, would you? Well, I don't understand rugby. That's the problem.
It's kind of like football, but like people say it's rougher because there's no pads and stuff. I don't understand it, but it might be interesting to see a game. They're in town.
I mean, I'm looking at Thunderbirds and like Everett game for hockey. I'd go to that. The pitch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to be low for a ball. And now here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. That nearly hit Crawford. The Shohei Ohtani highlights were nuts. Absolutely, they were.
Oh, look, one of their sponsors is RoofTopSports and Wingo.
And that's going to be in there for a strike. And now we're looking at the 2-1 for J.P. Crawford, and now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to the shortstop, throw to first. And that is in time, and that is going to retire the side. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 4-2 Mariners so far.
I'm just looking at a list like they're called the Seawolves. That's the rugby team, Seattle Seawolves. What do you think of that name?
It's a name.
Do you like where they have all these sea names?
I guess so.
Dragons, Seawolves, Seahawks.
Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, water themed. It's like, hey, I think our city has some really good names and colors for our sports teams. Some cities don't choose the best names and colors for their sports teams.
I would feel bad for the Commanders fans. They went from Redskins, then the Washington football team, and Commanders. And as soon as they came up with Commanders, I was like, no, you can go back to Washington football team.
What about the Guardians? Do you like that name?
No. It has no marketing value whatsoever. Most fans I know love the name Indians. The only people I know that didn't like the name Indians are not even baseball fans. Which anyway, I gotta take another break. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Looking around the league right now, Boston and Minnesota are tied 1-1 with Carlos Santana up to the plate. Mariners could totally use Santana right now. And we are back from the break. And Emmett Brown, good day. Thanks for being on the show. To add insult to injury, Guardians and Commanders are the most generic, awful names ever. They are. They have no personality.
But does a name or colors make you like a team more?
And now, hold on. There's a fly ball to right center field, and Julio is there. He makes the catch. That's going to be one down. Dustin makes a good point. Like, Washington football team was at least funny. That's better than Commanders.
Yeah. But I get why they're called Commanders, because kind of the government thing there and like military based.
No. Go back to what? So here's the thing. People are crying for the Washington Redskins name to come back. I'm crying for Washington football team. It was at least funny, and it fit the identity of the team.
Yeah.
Oh, and good news. Boston is now going to the bottom of the 8th inning as they throw a guy out at second base on a stolen base attempt. As we are looking at the 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball.
Because unless the name's like really, really bad, it's like most names are acceptable. Like most names are acceptable and most sports colors are acceptable. But I was looking at, was it soccer the other day? The Miami team, one of their main colors is pink. It's like a shade of like pink or lavender or something like that. Yeah.
And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike, 2-2. technically 3 games back since they don't have a tiebreaker, but the Mariners are somehow in the playoff race. That is true.
Like I said, they have a 5.1% chance of making the playoffs. Is what
The
according
2-2.
to stats.
And now here's a fly ball to right field, and Robles is there, and he makes the catch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point by someone that said Mariners are technically 3 games back.
Mm. Yeah, those tiebreakers matter. That's what got the Seahawks last year. Green Bay had the tiebreaker.
And now here's the pitch to Adolis Garcia, and that is up high for a ball.
Do you wish that the Mariners would drop RoofTopSports?
Yes. Even though it's their own thing, so they should. I would probably have it liquidated. The pitch, and here's a check swing. Did he go? He did not. That's going to be a 2-0 count on Adolis Garcia. Congratulations to the Cleveland Guardians. They have made the playoffs. Some might want to call it the Indians, though.
Mm-hmm.
The 2-0, and that is a strike this time. And now here is the pitch, and that is a ball.
Oh,
and we'll get 3-1 so far for Adolis Garcia. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball, strike 2.
Even the Chiefs have done something. The Chiefs retired their mascot war paint in 2021.
As we're looking at the 3-2, and now the pitch. And a fly ball to right field, and that is just foul. That was nearly a home run by Adolis Garcia. Now we're looking at the 3-2. And now the pitch. Here's an interesting thing. Like you've heard of the ST3 project, right?
Yes.
So it initially started as a $54 billion project, and now it is estimated to be $148 billion, by the way, the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And strike 3 called, and that is going to retire the side. George Kirby with another strikeout, and that strikeout is now number 4. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, it is 4-2 so far. And since we have the sufficient viewers here, I got to show Bob Mario Smith.
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith, Bob Mario Smith. You may know me from my other work, Self-Help. I'm here for the first episode of my new show, The Original Show. I'm here on this beautiful campus of UW Bothell to film my first interview for my new talk show. Thank you, and let's begin. Welcome to The Original Show. I'm your host, Bob Mario Smith. Today our guest is director of Are You Kidding Me? Thank you for coming.
Are you kidding me?
So what is the plot of your movie?
This plot has robots going haywire, aliens invading the Earth, and humans living underground.
This movie sounds like iRobot.
What makes you think that? There are still aliens invading the Earth.
Aliens from where?
Aliens from outer space. Where else?
Are there just aliens and robots in this movie?
You're gonna have to see and find out.
Are there going to be vampires in this movie?
Werewolves are cooler than vampires.
Cool. I second that. And Twilight needs help. So what time in the future does this movie take place?
Sometime after 2013, many years after that,
Do cars fly in the future?
that has already been done.
This movie sounds like Oblivion.
I guess I can see where you're coming from, but the movie's still going to be awesome.
How awesome.
Just the words of awesome, and if I were you, James Cameron and George Lucas, I would be afraid. Well, I'm sorry, Disney. But yes, I would be afraid.
How afraid?
Afraid enough that we could win more Academy Awards.
That was so bad. And now the pitch to Josh Rojas, and that's going to be popped up. And Marcus Simeon's going to be there. And he makes the catch.
But I pull off cheese well.
you
Natural to me. Doesn't it just come natural to me? Cheese does.
you do have a cheese. You have a knack for some cheese. Correct.
Yeah. The game is going faster than I expected.
Very much so.
Hmm.
And we got Leiter, who is the pitcher. I guess he's taking over for Jacob deGrom. And looks like we got a base hit. And now that's going to be outside for a ball on Victor Robles, as Boston now has runners on second and third with 2 outs, as Boston does have a chance to take the lead on Minnesota.
I heard one of your favorite movies is Moneyball.
Now the pitch. And that is a strike. Yes, it is. And I'll show a clip from Moneyball real quick.
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
My other rising favorite movie is The Founder. Have you seen The Founder or heard of The Founder?
I know The Founder. I have not seen it.
We got to watch it together. And the 1-1. And that's going to be low for a ball. Victor Robles really does love to pull off that bunt.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to you, Vic, Epic Sea Films, for being on this show. You really made it. You really added the fun to it.
Okay. Were you ever a fan of Bad News Bears?
No, I couldn't get into it.
You couldn't get into that one?
2-1. Now here's a ground ball, and that is a base hit for Victor Robles. And Victor Robles has absolutely been on fire.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten on base.
Get on base.
He's now 2 for 4.
Yes, he's getting on base. And that matters a lot.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Epic Sea Films, did you enjoy my new and improved NFL intro? Was it better than last year?
Yes.
Like a lot better? Like you
Yes,
felt I really made it more than 1% better.
Yes, it was better. Yes, it was improved.
What did you like about it?
Well, just like I think like when you have more movement and it's just like it's more amped up, I think it worked better.
It really does.
And also like adding some of your personal flair into it, does help. Mm-hmm.
1-0.
Personality
I'm going to
matters.
miss strike 1.
Yeah, but personality does matter because the reason why some people keep coming back to certain people's channels, especially like
Because of some of their intros.
it's the personality, it's
Personality.
the vibes. It's a big deal.
And we are looking at the 1-1 so far.
Because all these people in your chat this year,
Pitch. And now here's a fly ball to right field, and that is gone! Julio!
Again, Julio!
He did it again! He did it again to make it 6-2. And what a home run by Julio Rodriguez. And more importantly, what a game for Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Must I do it again? Julio!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is home run number 18 for Julio Rodriguez.
If the Mariners make the playoffs, who is going to get the credit for this?
Dan Wilson. I'll give it to Dan Wilson.
You think Dan Wilson did it?
Dan Wilson. Ever since they fired Scott Service, I think that was the turning point.
Because looking at their record-wise, their records weren't any much different.
It's just that the other teams just happened to fall apart. So some luck really did came to play.
Some luck, because you look at their record, it's about like a couple games above 500. So it's not like they're playing any better, but it's like,
But had Scott Service been there, then they probably would have been below 500. So at least Wilson wasn't, he's not great, but he's also not bad.
Yeah. But because he's more of like connected to the team, you want him to succeed a little bit more because he has that history.
He has the respect. Yeah, some would say that was a nostalgia hire, but also don't forget Dan Wilson he does have a long-lasting relationship with the organization since 1994, and he spent time in their minor league systems as a coach at some points, helped them out with spring training, works within the Mariners media, so he knows this team very well.
Yeah.
And flick of the switch thinks Edgar's the one that's turning it around the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that's going to be a play to first base and in time.
But I get why you might say Edgar, because Edgar's the new batting coach.
I mean, it did have a lot to do with it because Mariners have been averaging around 5 runs a game. Before that, they were averaging well below 5 runs.
So that's a good answer. Yeah.
But pitching can still be, there's a lot of things that they could still be better, but
the batting was their main problem.
Batting was a major problem, and the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And now here is Randy Arozarena up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 1.
Mm-hmm. And thank you all for being here. You could be anywhere tonight, but you're here.
Oh my God, Boston could not score with the bases loaded. Now here's Randy Arozarena, and that's going to be low for a ball. Now I'm distracted because of that. And also, here's what I got for you guys. After this game, after the Mariners win, if they win, I will cover the Boston-Minnesota game afterwards. As we're looking at the 2-1 so far for Randy Arozarena, can he add to this lead? I would like to see him do so. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a strike, and that is a 2-2 count. And we're looking at the 2-2 Arozarena.
Boston pulled a Mariner.
And now the pitch. And now here is a ground ball, and that will get right through for a base hit. And the Mariners are still trying to find ways to stay in this inning, even despite that Julio Rodriguez massive home runs.
Have you ever seen a movie called Basketball?
Basketball? I don't want to know.
It's like a 90s movie.
I see.
It's if baseball and basketball mixed together. What would it be like? It's a movie. Yes, basketball is a movie.
And now we're looking at Luke Raley. And now here is the 1-0 pitch to Luke Raley. And that is going to be low.
It's a 1998 movie.
I just saw, when I was going to Brazil, I was watching the movie You Got Mail, if you've seen that movie.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
As we're looking at the 2-0 so far for Luke Raley. And the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and nothing doing on that one. And he's going to be there. And he makes the catch. But the good news is Julio Rodriguez hits a 2-run home run to extend this lead to make it 6-2. He's been carrying this offense all by himself. And now it's time for the 7th inning stretch. And all you got to do is sit back and relax. I'll sing it myself. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because the Mariners have a 6-2 lead. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Now, how would you rate my singing on that?
You're singing?
Out of 10.
I don't know. 3.
What? You give me a 3?
Oh, a 3.9.
A 3.9? Why?
Because you need some tuning, especially the ending.
I was like, yay!
Yes, you need some tuning.
Okay, here's my reactions to that. Here's my reaction to you doing that.
Hey, I didn't give you a 0 out of 10. I gave you 11 because your singing was better than some people. At least you knew all the words too. That gave you the 0.9 jump.
Yeah.
I'm not really a singer. I'm more of a rapper, if you know what I mean.
Then why don't you sing your 7th inning stretch and rap? Not now.
You want me to sing the 7th inning stretch?
No, because we have a game to cover.
Take me out to the ball game. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if you never get back. So root for the man. Whose was better? Whose was better? My short
whose was better? Someone say who's better. And by the way, George Kirby is out of this game. Trent Thornton's going to be taking over. George Kirby coming out with 85 pitches. And William, how are you doing? And Trent Thornton's going to be in the bullpen. He's sporting a 3.82 ERA, which is something you don't necessarily like.
Well, then there needs to be one more run scored in this game. They have the average of 9.
Oh, they're saying C Films was better. That hurts, man. They all think your singing was better.
Wow.
Aren't you proud? Now the pitch. And that is a strike. After this game, I will be covering the Boston game.
And I will be leaving.
What time are you leaving?
In the next, 20 minutes.
Oh, man, this game's got to end fast.
Well, yeah, around 7:30.
Ouch. Nathaniel Lowe is batting .324 with 3 home runs with runners in scoring position, but there's nobody on base right now.
I stayed for most of the game. We're already at the 7th inning out of 9.
We are. The 0-2. And strike 3 called, and down he goes. And now we've got 1 out so far.
So I've been holding in here with you. What?
Flick of the switch. It would have sound better typed out instead of singing. Okay, fine. Here you go.
Root for the Mariners. Buy me some peanuts and...
Now the pitch. Flick of the switch. How about copy and pasted?
At the old ball game. At the old ball. And what is it? 3 strikes, you're out at the T-Mobile
Anything but vocalized. Oh man, Flick of the Switch doesn't really like my singing at all.
But they like my singing better.
Yeah. I guess they like your singing much better. Now we're looking at the 0-2 for Jonah Heim in the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left center field, and that is going to be Julio. He makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 outs.
Oh, now they're saying both. Nope, both terrible. now they're all me now.
They're saying we're both bad.
Do you call for a ball? I'm not at the mall.
And the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. With 2 outs, Duran finds a way to get on base.
That's what I said. Call for a ball, and a ball came.
And now we've got the next hitter on the plate and the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. This is Leody Taveras. And the pitch. Oh, outside, way outside. Man, they both didn't like our singing one bit.
I'm not in a mall. I am not tall. I am watching a ball game.
And Boston gets into a base hit with no outs to get a leadoff hit. And looks like we got an injury problem for Trent Thornton, not looking good. As Dan Wilson's coming out along with the trainer to see if Trent Thornton's okay. Not looking good.
What do you think of those padded baseball caps?
What do you mean?
Like I think a couple years ago, one of the pitchers was wearing a padded baseball cap.
Didn't really notice.
Because there's these thick pads you can get in on some baseball caps. So like if they get hit in the head, it protects them better.
Didn't think of it.
Just like there's like those caps you can put on the helmets for football. They have like
Never thought of. And it looks like Trent Thornton is going to continue pitching after all, as we are looking at a 2-1 pitch so far for Leody Taveras. As we're looking at the 2-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside. And that's going to be a 3-1 count. And you really don't want to walk him, because then you could have 2 men on base to give Rangers a chance to come back in this game, which you do not want to give them any kind of that chance. And now we're looking at the 3-1 by Trent Thornton. And now the pitch. And that is low for ball 4. And Trent Thornton's just not having it. I would actually pull this guy out. And if anything, maybe I wouldn't have wanted to pitch him in the first place, because Trent Thornton has been one of the weaker pitchers in the bullpen. I mean, I don't think maybe I would have put in George Kirby for just one more inning, because he really was dealing. Looks like Colin Snyder is going to be in the bullpen, as he probably should have been earlier.
Now they're saying, OMG, Dr. Dre spitting lyrics.
I guess so. Did my stream just die?
Nope. I still see you.
No, I'm talking about the game.
Oh.
The Rangers were just heavily injured this year, Christian, if that's what you're wondering.
But even if you're saying they're injury prone, they still almost won half their games.
Yeah, but they're not really in the playoff race. That's the thing.
But would you rather have a competitive team than have the worst?
Jace Page, hello, how's it going? Haven't seen you on this YouTube before, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification. Thank you for joining. Also, donations appreciated too, but I know how Flix feels about that. He's heavily against donating to my channel for sure.
I support by coming here and being here.
I guess so.
That's my support. Giving you someone to banter off of.
I guess so.
Do I improve
Now
this
here
now?
is Trent Thornton. Now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike one. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Heliot Ramos is a home run away from the cycle. Pretty tough task for him, if you ask me.
What's the cycle?
Cycle means you hit a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. Boston now has the winning run at second base. That is Jaron Duran. Helio Ramos has 21 home runs this season. This has been one of his breakout seasons in Kansas City. And now the 0-2. And that was kind of a pitch out, and that is going to be a 1-2.
Kansas City, known for barbecue.
Y'all. Are they known for the y'alls too? That's more of a Texas thing.
Yeah. Did you know there's actually
1-2. And here's a ground ball right to, and this is going to be cutting it close to the first. And in time, good play by the second baseman, Polanco. Good heads-up play. And we go into the top of the 8th inning, and they just got out of that jam. It is now 6-2 Mariners still. William Cook, to see films as defense, he doesn't really watch baseball. He's literally just here to interact. That's literally it, which I will more than take. I will take it.
Yes.
I tried to get Steve Silver onto the show, but he's like, oh, no, I got to do my own show, and I got to wake up early tomorrow. And same thing with Jay Trident Podcast. He felt the same way.
Do I enhance the show, or is it better when Joe is solo?
Man, that's the third anti Dave Reichert ad. Guess how many counter ads Dave Reichert has?
Do you think he made ads, or do you think there's Bruce Sports just doesn't want to play them?
No, I don't think Dave Reichert's trying. Because last year, like a couple of years ago, I was watching Tiffany Smiley, senator against Patty Murray. She had ads. No, Dave Reichert's not going to win. I'm going to say that. Reichert has literally no shot. It's going to be Ferguson. We all know it's going to be Ferguson.
Hey, you never know what could happen.
No, I already know what's going to happen. I would actually pull out my entire stocks and IRA and savings and earnings and put all of it onto Bob Ferguson, and I'll win maybe $1 because he's heavily favored. Let me see the predicted.org. And here's the thing. I'm not saying who I'm voting for. I'm just saying, like right now in the gambling odds, if you care about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, Kamala Harris is actually the overwhelming favorite.
And their TV lineup's so small.
And the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. It's going to be a 1-0 on Justin Turner. As we're looking at the 2-0 for Justin Turner. And now here is the pitch. And that is low for a ball, 3-0. And flick of the switch, I was actually looking at a gambling website. I was not looking at the polls. And you know those polls are very misleading. One side is either delusional, and the other side that makes their polls They're just basically reminding you to vote, basically. So they just skew the numbers real badly. So basically they can say, make sure you go out and vote. That's what it basically is. I guess that's fair enough, Jace. Now the 3-1 and ball 4, take your bases. Justin Turner will get on base with a walk. And now here is Jorge Polanco. And now the pitch. And that is inside for a ball. Gambler's trying to get you to bet on Kamala. Easy money for the house. I don't know. All I know is, for anyone that I'm going to say, no matter what the results are in November, you're going to be disappointed either way. I think that's fair to say. Someone is going to be disappointed. You think that's the most fair outcome, see films? Like the reception's going to be disappointing either way. Depends who you talk to, right? Man, you've really fallen off of sleep as we're looking at the 2-0.
But me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just like, you know.
I'm just saying that my prediction for this
stuff. I don't
election,
want to get in. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole.
I'm going to say this. Texas is a sleeper state for Kamala. Sleeper. I said sleeper, not favorite. It's a sleeper. Flick of the switch. I respect your comment. Hey, I have someone from Norway. How you going? How you doing? Jonas McGee.
In 1962, the New York Mets had 120 losses.
Yep, they were the failure. And now the 2-1. You know what? Here's the difference from the Mets. Here's what I've noticed by demographics. Poor people cheer for the Yankees and rich people cheer for the Mets. Just based on location, because the Bronx is considered one of the poorest, most project kind of communities in New York. And the pitch. And now here is a line drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Nice bloop single by Justin Turner.
In 2003, the Detroit Tigers had 119 losses.
Yeah, 2003, they did indeed.
In 2024, right now, it's the White Sox have 117 losses. Something like that. The White Sox have a lot of losses.
And now here is Dylan Moore. I think he's pinch running. Now here's JP Crawford inside for a ball.
Have you ever heard of a team called the Philadelphia Athletics?
And the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. Very tempted to buy that new Warhammer game. I got no games I'm tempted to buy.
See, people shouldn't be getting mad at the Oakland Athletics because they used to be in Kansas City and they used to be in Philadelphia. They've already moved around 2 other times.
And here's my thing about Oakland. Just by statistics alone, you're more likely to die in Oakland, California than Sao Paulo, Brazil. How about that? And let's do the murder rates. Isn't that sad? Sao Paulo is about 8.4. If you look at Oakland, And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. In Oakland 2024, in August 2024, it was a 10.77 per 100,000. Sao Paulo was 8.4. So you're actually safer in a foreign country than freaking Oakland. That's why they're moving away. Don't go to Oakland, trust me. I've been to Oakland. I was horrified there. Now, don't get me wrong. And by the way, JP Crawford just drew a walk. Oh, Age of Empires. You play Age of Empires too, Jonas McGee? You have a Steam, Jonas McGee? Because you know what? I'll give you my Steam, or add me on my Discord and we can, or maybe you can add me on Discord and we can talk there.
So you have that science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
I play Age of Empires myself, and I mostly play the Celts or the Britons. I like the William Wallace story. That was really cool. Oh, and by the way, Boston still couldn't score.
But are they still winning?
Nope. It's still 1-1. And we're looking at the 0-1 now, the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to be an 0-2.
Man, this out's taking a while. Oh, I got to go here soon.
Looks like you do.
So I'll talk to you later.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, Epic Sea Films, for being on this show.
No problem.
Yep.
And the Seahawks are doing good.
And what's your advice on the Mariners?
Mariners, don't get your...
Oh, and here's a fly ball. This should score in a run. And center fielder's there. He makes the catch, and tagging at third is Justin Turner, and he is going to get in there easily with a sacrifice fly by Josh Rojas, second RBI of the game. And you said you got to go?
Well, no. So you were asking me a question about the Mariners before I left, and the answer to the question is with the Mariners is the thing about the Mariners is a lot of fans shouldn't get their hopes up really high that they're going to make the playoffs and stuff like that. But you can see that there is some light at the end of the tunnel because their batting has improved. So I think next year is going to be a better year to see how well they can do. I think this
well, none of us are thinking about next year. We're thinking about the now. As here's Victor Robles. And actually, if you don't mind, how about you? And now here's a fly ball to right field. Should score in another run. And tacking at third is Dylan Moore. And that's going to be another score to make it 8-2 as the Mariners continue to pile in the runs.
Like that person
and
said.
You know what, Epic Sea Films, are you willing to stay until the end of this at bat, like the Mariners offense?
Yeah, I'll stay till the end
we'll
of
do
this.
that because I want a smooth transition finish.
Yes, I'll stay till the end of the top of the eighth. And the other thing I can say is that maybe Edgar Martinez is the bright spot about this team now, having him as batting coach. Because
I have a confession about Edgar Martinez.
What?
I creeped him away before. When I was working at Best Buy, he was asking me a question about like security cameras, and of course, my geeky ass self goes, "Are you Edgar Martinez?" He's like, "Yes, I am." You were like my childhood hero, and obviously, like he slowly and smoothly walked away. Like it was as smooth as his batting. The way he walked away, you couldn't even notice that he was walking away. I creeped him out. Now here's the pitch to Julio, and that is a strike.
Do you think he actually remembers you still?
No. I know one of Tom Brady's teammates recognized me before. Tom Brady's ex-teammates, Lawyer Malloy, former Husky and former Seahawk and former Patriot. And now we're looking at...
I've met celebrities before.
I know, it's not supposed to be a big deal. Like I've met Russell Wilson. I've met Russell Okung. I met a lot of cool guys.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at the 0-2 for Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, I met
And now the pitch.
the guy who played Stewart on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
The guy who owns the comic book shop.
I've met Duff McKagan.
Recently, I met Soulzilla,
Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. Gary Payton, you couldn't really talk to, which is ironic. He's a big mouth, but then when he's out in public, you cannot get a word out of him.
Oh, Patrick Ewing was the hardest to get a hold of.
You chased him. You chased him down to get an autograph.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at the 1-2. And now here is the pitch. Before the NBA season starts, at one point, I want you to tell me that Patrick Ewing story. And I'm going to put it on YouTube and cut him up into a short. He's like, oh, yeah, Patrick Ewing, you chased him down into a parking lot.
Oh, he was driving out of the facility.
Oh, he was driving out? And now the pitch. And it's popped up and fouled. And he actually stopped for you.
I think eventually, yeah.
What car was he driving?
It was like, I don't know, it was some like, I don't know, was it Cadillac or was it something?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it was some sort of like, standard.
Chances are I don't even think he owned that car. He probably rented it. And now the 2-2 pitch. And he strikes out. And that's going to retire the side. But the good news is Mariners get some insurance runs to make it 8-2. And Epic Sea Films, I just want to say thank you very much for being on this show. Really appreciate it. It was a huge difference maker. And hopefully we'll see you in the near future, which we probably will. Maybe that Seahawks game. Who knows? But thank you for being here. And any last words to say?
Well, thank you for having me here. And also good luck on the rest of the show. Hopefully the Mariners win. Hopefully they win. And don't drink.
Don't drink, everyone. He said it. Don't drink.
And don't smoke.
Don't smoke. And thank you, Epic Sea Films, for being on this show. Really did appreciate it. And now we're going into the next inning, and now I got to play a commercial because now that Epic Sea Films is not here anymore, I got to do some commercials. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. And now we're waiting for the remaining parts of this game. Also looks like Boston is now in the bottom of their inning, so they have a chance to win this game for the Mariners to turn this into a 1-game deficit. But the Mariners cannot tie. They have to lead. And Angels are still fighting somehow. They're still fighting. Like they refuse to die, it looks like, as it seems. But right now it's bottom of the 10th for Boston. And now it's bottom of the 8th. And we got JT Chargois. It's coming in from relief. 2.23 ERA, 29 strikeouts to 12 walks. And now the pitch, and that is a foul ball. As we're looking at the 0-1 so far. And now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. I believe this is Marcus Semien up to the plate. Bottom of the 10th, we got Boston and Minnesota. And now we're looking at the 0-2. Oh, and that almost got him, and that is going to be a 1-2 count. Connor Wong is now up to the plate. He's got a man on second base with one good swing. He can win this game. And we're looking at the 1-2 and the pitch. outside for a ball, 2-2, and Chargois trying to get this guy out, but he's kind of struggling to do so. A near wild pitch happened. And now the 2-2. And it's going to be a 3-2 count. And the Mariners have got to be careful. Even if with an 8-2 lead, there is still no guarantees. Still got to find a way to win. And the 3-2. And popped up. You got him to jam him up, but it's going to be a foul ball anyway. And now the 3-2. And now here is a liner, and that is going to be caught by Victor Robles. Good catch by Victor. Good hustle. And now that's going to be 1 out. Mariners are hanging on to an 8-2 lead. Hopefully that they can keep this going. And now the pitch. And now here is a fly ball to right field, but Robles is going to be there. Hit by Josh Smith. And he is there, and he makes the catch. And now the pitch. Inside for a ball. Mariners have played very well. And Boston really messes it up. 2 outs, and they got a runner on first and third. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and Robles is there again, as that is a 1-2-3 inning. Robles has really shown his hustle today. He's done very well for the Mariners, and we go into the next inning. SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description. And thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut. Yep, go with that own gut. Do not take my advice because I don't want you to be suing me if things don't go your way. But here is your opportunity to get some free money out of it if you open any of the SoFi accounts on the links I'm about to provide for you. Why are they talking about traveling? Depends where you get, though. Talking about Airbnb. And Boston once again fails to score with runners on first and third. Boston finds a way to really screw it up, don't they? And Cal Raleigh swings and misses, and that is going to be a strike. And now here is a fly ball to... And Tavares is there and makes the catch. And this is Festa. I believe this is Matt Festa, who is on the mound. Looks like it is Matt Festa, the former Mariner. Yep, it is correct. And now the pitch. And that is a strike. Matt Festa wasn't exactly a good bullpen pitcher at all. He hasn't really been any good at all. Eek, bad numbers too. Really tough to look at. And the pitch to Rosarena. Check swing, did he go? He did not. And that's going to be a 1-1 on Randy Rosarena. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And now the 1-2. And that's going to be low for a ball, 2-2. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside, 2-2. And now we're looking at the full count and the pitch. And ball 4, take your base. And surprisingly, Randy Rosarena gets the walk. Now here is Luke Raley up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. And now we're looking at the 0-1. And now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. That's going to be double play ball. Throw to second. Throw to first. Not in time. Was double play ball, but nothing happening. And looking at Boston, they now have 1 out on the Minnesota Twins in the top of the 11th inning. Justin Turner now batting. He did start the rally in the last inning. He scored on a sacrifice fly. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Now the 0-1. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's going to be a base hit. And a pop-up by Boston, caused by Boston. Oh, almost dropped the play, and that's going to be 2 outs. Yep, Josh, you are absolutely correct. And hey, Josh, by the way, I was in Houston earlier this morning. It was a transfer flight from Brazil. And now we're looking at Dylan Moore up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Now we're looking at the 1-0 count so far. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. Dylan Moore batting .206 with 10 home runs. And we're looking at the 1-1 and the pitch. And that has popped up again. Carlos Santana is now up to bat. And again, Mariners could really use that guy. And now the 1-2. And now here's a ground ball. And that's going to be the play this second. And nothing doing. And that's going to be 3 outs. Last try for the Texas Rangers. They are down 6, but you just never know. Yeah, I was in Houston. Yep. It was quite a... I did feel the humidity when I got out of the airplane. I was like, dang, Houston is sticky. I think if I lived in Houston, I get bug bites left and right. At least the skin doesn't dry out, huh? I guess that's true. I still wouldn't live in Houston personally, though. I still have to visit, though. One of my best friends lives in Houston right now. And I do have an interesting relationship with the Houston fans. And I'm sure you'll be here for any of my games against the Houston Astros, because that will be an intense game. Hopefully, because Houston's still fighting for like a more of a better seed. Tomorrow, Emerson Hancock's going to be pitching against Max Scherzer. Not looking forward to that lineup, I can tell you that. I think the Mariners will be lucky to get 2 out of 3 on this series. Boston's still trying to get out of their inning, trying to get out of their jam once again. Here in the top of the 11th inning. Now here's Edward Bizardo, and you know the game's a blowout when Edward Bizardo is now the hitter or the pitcher. He has a 5.79 ERA. He should not be on this team in the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. Adolis Garcia is up to the plate. And the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball, 1-1. And we're looking at the 1-1. And now the pitch. And Garcia fouls it. That's going to be a 1-2 count. After this game, I will be covering the Boston and Minnesota game, because I know it really matters to the Mariners fans. And the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. He's probably going to get on base. The throw to first. Not in time as Adolis Garcia gets on base. And that's going to be man on first. Adolis Garcia has been having a down year compared to last season. Last season, he was a 245 hitter with a 328 OBP with nearly 40 home runs. This season, only 23 home runs, batting .217. The guy's a strikeout machine, too. And now we got Nathaniel Lowe up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. Really want this game to end quickly so I can cover this Mariners game, cover the Boston game. And now the pitch. And that's going to be A strike. That's going to be an 0-2. And now we're looking at the 0-2 and the pitch. And that's going to be a 1-2 count. Now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball once again. And the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. Should be a double play ball. The tag of Garcia, the throw to first in time. And now there's 2 outs in this game. 1 out away for the Mariners to win, to at least be 1 game behind Detroit and hopefully 1 game behind Minnesota. Yeah, Dolis Garcia was out of the base path, so you got to call him out on that. That Houston series will be full of stress and heartburn. I wouldn't say so because Mariners don't play well against Houston late in the season, so don't forget about that. So I think you got nothing to worry about, kid. Sir, buddy. Now here is Jonah Heim in the pitch, and that is a strike. I just want to say thank you to everyone that was on this show today as we are getting into the conclusion of this Mariners game. Jonah Heim is 0 for 3, and now the pitch. And that has popped up, and now it's game time. So the Mariners have played very well today, despite a little bit of a hiccup earlier in the game with George Kirby leaving one right down the middle. But Julio Rodriguez made up for it to make it 4-2 and 6-2, and Mariners extended it to 8-2. So Julio, in some ways, he did at least make up for the Yankees' disastrous game. So I got to give him props for that, being able to respond to the haters. And now the 0-2. Now here's a line drive, and that's going to be a base hit, and the rally begins for the Texas Rangers. And now you got runners on first and second for Boston and Minnesota. Jonah Heim trying to keep this game alive for the Texas Rangers to play spoiler mode, which teams will do. And now we got the next man up to the plate. Duran is now the hitter. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. And looks like Boston just avoided the double play. Runners on first and third. They did advance the runner, though. And now we're looking at the 0-1. And the pitch. And that is a foul ball. Mariners have to pretty much play perfect baseball at this point. The one thing that made me cringe was when Mariner fans were so passionate about defending Julio Rodriguez for his idiotic base running. And then they were criticizing the Mariner fans. Were like, oh, yeah, those Mariner fans are so full of hate. He deserved what he got for such idiotic base running. And now he responded to it with 2 home runs. And we're 1 strike away from Mariners winning the game. And then after this game, I will go straight to the Boston game. And I'll even change the scoreboard on that one, too. 0-2 by Bizzardo in the pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and this should... No, he bobbles the ball, and there's going to be no play. And J.P. Crawford bobbles it. And that should be an error. And the Mariners are trying to make it, unfortunately, interesting for themselves. At least for the Texas Rangers. Can't be playing baseball like this. But yes, I'm going to go back to it. Julio Rodriguez, the criticism and the hate that he got was 100% deserved because when you're a top player, one of the top players in the league are supposed to be, And now here's the pitch. And now line drive foul. I mean, when you're... Oh, no, a strikeout. That was Tyler O'Neill with a strikeout. Now you got 2 outs. I mean, when you make a bad base running decision like that, you deserve all the criticism you're getting. He should not be defended with... He should not be defended. The pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball, 1-1. And this is... And an inning like this is a great representation on why Edward Bizzardo should not even be on the team anymore. I hate to say it, but I'm just saying it. And now we're looking at the 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's a foul ball, strike 2. We're going to try this again. They are 1 strike away from completing this game. Leody Taveras is the hitter. Going to try to make something happen. The ball and 2 strikes. Let's get this into the win. Let's finish this off. And now the 1-2 pitch. And that is popped up, and this should do it. Cal Raleigh, is he there? And he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Beautifully done, yep. Julio Rodriguez with his 2 home runs, and he finally responded to the haters. And now, with no time to waste, time to get into the Boston game. As I got a game to follow on that one. Let's make the playoffs this year. Why not? They absolutely should go for the playoffs. Like, why not? And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Boston once again chokes it away here in the extra innings as we're going into the top of the 12th inning. I don't think we can even wait a year. And speak of, I got to go to the bathroom. So be right freaking back. SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description. And thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut. All right, time to cover the Boston game, which is still ongoing at this time. Can't believe Boston choked it away again. It's almost like Boston wants to lose and sabotage the Mariners. That seems to be the agenda for it, doesn't it? How do the Mariners have the most strikeouts when the Red Sox have struck out a lot tonight? How hard is it to get a fly ball? How hard is it to even do anything? And we are back from the break, and here I am covering the Boston game. And hopefully Boston can figure out a way to win this game. Hopefully for the Mariners' sake. None of us want to wait another year. I agree. Once again, Twins with a man on second base. Would be really frustrating to see this happen, and a swing and a miss. And in Boston, it is getting close to 11 o'clock at night. So what a night it has been in Boston. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a ball. Oops, didn't mean to say it that way. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. And now the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. And that gets right through for a base hit. And that could actually score in the run. Nope, it will not. But now you got runners on first and third. And I question, how did Boston not score on this kind of situation? And now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. And the throw to first. Not in time. Now the pitch. Now here is, oh no. And Minnesota has just scored as Boston has become useless idiots. And that just, there goes my mood. Boston could not field it. And now it's 2-1. They won by ugly baseball while Boston was just trying to aim for the fences. That's what they were trying to do, Kevin Kirby. When I was watching the game, like glancing to the left on my other screen, Boston looked like they weren't even trying to play small ball. They were just trying to play long ball, which was really annoying. Now here's Carlos Correa, who was 2 for 5 in the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Boston now in danger of losing. Mariners are in danger of gaining nothing, which would be very devastating. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a ball. Like, Mariners couldn't even find ways to win a series against the freaking Oakland A's out of all teams, which really was infuriating. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2 on Carlos Correa. And now the pitch. And that is low for a ball. And I've already lost motivation on covering this game. And now the pitch. And umpire's not going to give it to him. And that is going to be a ball, 3-2. And now the pitch. And ball 4, take your base. And it looks like this game is pretty much going to be out of reach at this point. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to be a base hit. And this game is just being absolutely broken open. And by the way, there's no outs. Just a friendly reminder. There's absolutely no freaking out. Like, this is why the Mariners should have taken care of business, especially against the Yankees. They at least should have won one more game on that. And they completely abused it because of dumbass Julio Rodriguez's base running. Terrible base running. And that's me being nice. And he deserved every bit of that criticism because this is where it's coming back to haunt you. And a swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike one. The pitch. And here's a ground ball, foul ball. And this game is pretty much out of reach at this point. And that's going to be a strikeout finally. And this is why the Mariners should have taken care of business much earlier. They had several opportunities to take care of business. And now, because of the way they've been playing, at least what they did before Scott Service got fired, or even after Dan Wilson got hired, they wasted every bit of opportunity. They had their chances back in August when they played absolutely garbage teams, and they still lost to pretty much all of them. And now we got Willie Castro up to the plate. And now here's a fly ball drilled to right field. And that's still going to score in a run. That's going to make it 4-1 Minnesota. Had the Mariners taken care of business before, we wouldn't be screaming at Boston right now. And now here's a fly ball to right field. There should be no cheering on that one. Minnesota is now up 4-1, and I'm still going to cover the last of this game. Even if they won that in extras against the Yankees, they'd be in pretty good shape. 1 or 2 more wins. Yeah, I know. I still think about that Julio bad base running. Now, yes, he did make up for it somewhat, but it's kind of one of those too little too late as it could be. And yet we have Mariner fans all obsessively defending Julio Rodriguez like, yo, you cannot spread hate speech on him. It's like, no, it's not hate speech. It's criticism. Ugh, that's something Mariners fans just don't get. They don't know how to criticize players. And when they do, it's like they just jump to conclusions saying that it is hate speech all of a sudden. It really bugs me. It's like, what? We're not allowed to criticize? I mean, Dustin, if you really think about it, they're putting hate speech on Mariner fans just speaking a mind of their own. So it's like hate speech on hate speech, basically. So basically it offsets. There's like nothing being done productive. No, I thought the hate that Julio Rodriguez got was extremely well-deserved and warranted. When you run like that, especially when you're being paid millions and millions of dollars a year, and we're talking mega millions, you're paid to not make dumbass mistakes like that. And now we're back from the break, and now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike, and Abreu has got to find ways to win this game. It may not even matter to Boston anyway. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. I know. Julio does not take the game seriously. That's why it's crushing that Mariners traded away Suarez. I knew that was going to be a ginormous mistake in the pitch. Now here's a ground ball. That's not going to be doing anything done. You move the guy to third base, but now you just burned it out. Good play by Carlos Santana. And now you got Connor Wong up to the plate. It's a good play by Santana. You were outspoken about keeping Gino. We all were. It was a horrible trade. And the pitch. And that is inside for a ball. And the pitch. And that is going to be a play to first base. And Boston does get the score, but it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Now Trevor Story's up to the plate. And hope is kind of gone for the Mariners' chances of picking up a game. This is why you got to play perfect baseball. We're talking too little too late in this situation. Mariners are still going to be 2 games back from Minnesota. And the swing and a miss, strike 3. And Boston, they've just lost the game. And now Mariners have gained nothing because of that. Because of that, Mariners are still 2 games back from the division. I'm sorry, the wild card. And I can't really say much. Mariners had opportunities, and they completely squandered every single bit of it. Well, I'm sorry, Boston did. And now they are 2 games back. They did pick up a game from Detroit. But because Minnesota won, that means they are going to be 2 games back. And the thing is, when you get Emerson Hancock versus Max Scherzer, that's not exactly a favorable matchup to even look forward to. Like, honestly, I think I'm going to go to the casino and put money. I may put money on the Texas Rangers tomorrow for that. Let's take a look and see what the odds are. Yeah, Texas is the overwhelming favorite. I might put some money on that. I don't know. I'm always too lazy to go to a casino anyway. But that is probably going to do it. Just want to say thank you for being part of this show, especially on my day, especially right when I got back from Brazil. definitely thank you all for the engagement, and hopefully the Mariners can find ways to win for the rest of the season and find a way to win tomorrow, especially off of Emerson Hancock pitching. So it's going to be a tough. But once again, thank you very much, and have a fantastic evening. And painfully saying, go Mariners.